today on Caliber 50 Customs. It is that time again, everyone. Another monthly 4 Horsemen build. These guys throw a build out every month, and it's a different theme each time. If you need to know what the schedule is, it's coming up. And today, I'm showing you the Roger Dodger Street Machine theme. So, let's get going. Everyone, welcome back to the range. Tom here, and today, like I said before, is the Roger Dodger. So, I think it's time to field strip and get this baby going. For those who don't know what I mean by field strip, it's kind of just disassembly. People in the military, we use that term when we're taking apart and cleaning our weapons and stuff. But if you didn't know, now you know. This was an older casting of mine. I just kind of had it sitting around. Those ID Roger Dodgers, that was a little pricey. So I contacted Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, and he said that I could use this casting. I actually had 2 castings. Just the body of one, and then I had the rest of everything else for this one right here. I already had the post drilled out and tapped and everything, so I didn't have to worry about doing all that boring stuff. I ended up painting the other casting as well as this one, because I just kind of wanted to get a different view of each one, just to see what type of paint jobs I can do. But the paint was fighting me hard on this casting. It really was, because I took the motors out for previous builds, just kind of off-camera builds. So I was trying to fill in the little gaps with a little bit of everything from JB Weld to Milliputty, but in the end, the Milliputty actually worked the best. It just took forever to sand it down. We're gonna drop down the stance, and give it a mean look, and it does it. The tires that I originally had for it and the wheels, they were slicks, but I didn't really like them. And this is the second casting. This was an interesting casting when I put it in the gun oil. It ended up being entirely shiny. Like, I was shocked, and I actually had to ask somebody if it was normal. I cut out the little hole for this one. It fit on the base to a point. I kind of had to modify the body a little bit, but kind of drilled out the front post. So I'm kind of glad my first casting turned out better than this one, because I wouldn't have been able to use this casting, because the posts were kind of stripped out and it kind of broke on me. I've taken my little chrome pen and just painting up the front end and the rear bumper, and turns out really good, and I was actually really happy with the way it turned out. And I don't know what it is, it could be just me, but if somebody else has had this problem, please let me know in the comments, because I've tried clear coating after using the chrome pen, and it just ends up turning glossy and like dull. So I didn't know if it was just me or how I was doing it, or if it actually does that, because I don't know what it is. I guess you just can't clear coat chrome. I don't know. But, here's where I was doing. I started off with some JB Weld, but when I went to go strip the casting, I wasn't thinking. It ended up making the JB Weld like flimsy and loose and stuff, so it ended up popping out. So I was like, well, I guess I can't use that part. So that's when I decided to go ahead and use Milliput, which actually did better, I think. You know, both of the castings, when I got done painting them, they looked great. I actually had to get a second opinion from Keith, or not Keith, sorry Keith, but Kristen from New Zealand, a friend of mine, on 1st and 64th Customs, and he kind of agreed with me on the paint scheme. You know, the one that I picked was the same one he picked, so it kind of worked out at the end. So that's why you see me doing 2 different castings, because I was going to use the one that looked the best, pretty much. And, you know, the only thing that didn't work was the windshield. So if I would have used the other casting, I would have had to cut the window in 2, and I didn't want to really do that. So, in a way, I'm kind of glad that casting didn't work out. You know, you'll see me go through a bunch of the wheels. You know, I haven't really quite decided which ones I wanted to use at the time. You know, here's the ones that look like slicks, and you know, they were not bad, but I don't know what it was. You know, I kind of had to put them on the rims together, you know, and it just, they wasn't looking right. You know, here's the ones that I finally decided to go with. They had the good years on them, and honestly, I'm glad I went with these, because they made it look really good, and I was really happy with the way it turned out. And, you know, it's not one of my favorite builds, but, you know, I did what I could, did my best on it. You know, I almost gave up on this build because the paint was, I was just having bad luck with the paint. And what I mean by that, either it wasn't turning out the way I was hoping, or it would mess up, or I ended up dropping the casting. I did it like 3 times. I dropped at least both of them 1 or 2 times a piece. So I was literally about ready to just say, I'm done with it, and just not even do it. But something told me just to get it done, you know, and I ended up cleaning it up, and it actually turned out pretty better than I was expecting. But I wanted to get it done, and yes, I'm always putting my videos out early, but I got a lot of stuff going on next week, so I wouldn't have time to put it out. So that's why I'm going to be putting it out now, you know, just to make sure I get it out there. It's not till the end of the month that when they're due, but like I said, I got a full busy schedule ahead of me. I got a lot of doctor's appointments coming up, so I wanted to get this build out as soon as possible. And I'm glad it worked out. I'm really happy that I was able to get it out. The video's not as long as I was expecting it was going to be, but I had a lot of dead space in the videos. And what I mean by dead space is, you know, a lot of gap of nothing going on. It's just staring at my mat. And, you know, I got a giveaway build, my last month's giveaway build, and I'm going to be shipping that off next week, you know, to Mike Gordon. Mike, you're not getting just that car, you're going to be getting a little goodie bag. So expect something in the mail, and I hope you enjoy your little goodie bag. And there's certain individuals that I'm sending goodie bags. It's nothing against anybody. It's just I only have so many until I can order some more. And I'm going to be doing that as soon as I get paid. So I'll be able to get out more goodie bags and stuff like that. And, you know, I got a restoration build coming up. Actually, 2 of them. You know, right here I'm trying to smooth it out. You know, trying to get it, you know, where it would look halfway decent. Because, like I said, I don't have the talent to polish it, I should say. I'm not really good at it, or I just don't have the right stuff for it. I don't know, but I just use some steel wool and I'll just smooth it out that way. I put, you know, this little fin I got from a Mustang on the back of it because I thought it looked period oriented. You know, it looked like something I'd see in the 70s. You know, a little wing on the back, nothing like ridiculous like you'd see on the tuner cars nowadays, you know. But, you know, I'm for sure what honestly this car's based off of. I'm unsure. I thought it was an older Challenger. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know. Leave a comment in the, leave something in the comments. Just let me know if I'm right. If I'm not, just tell me I'm not. The interior, it worked with both castings, which I was really happy about. I had to get rid of those side exhausts. I did not like them. And, I hand painted the interior after I painted a smoked gray interior and went red for the seats. And I actually like how it turned out. I'm trying to do a little more hand painting, because there for a while I was just using paint markers to paint the interiors and stuff like that, and it ended up not turning out as good as I was hoping for. I ended up doing a little bit of hand painting on the casting, and it turned out pretty good. I don't have footage of that. I apologize, because the paint footage you have, or that you'll see, is of the first casting, not the one I'm actually went with. It's not the same casting. It's a different paint job, and I hope you all like it. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for further notifications. And here's the beginning of the paint. Started off with real orange, taped it off, and then I went with like a sunshine yellow afterwards. And then I don't have the footage for it. I honestly forgot to hit the record button, but I ended up going a cherry red for the next colors, and then after that I kind of ended up dropping it. But remember what we started off with. It wasn't a bad casting, like I was saying, but I got a little announcement. I'm going to be hosting a great biker build-off. The rules are as you see here. If y'all are interested, let me know, and I'll give you more further details. Here's a little description, or a little, how do I say it, a little preview of some of the bikes I do. You guys have seen my Gaslands bike. I've gotten this one. Some of you guys have seen another one of my bikes that's on Instagram. And I got this chopper that I'm building right now, as you see here, and my previous one before that. But without further ado, here we are. And I'll see you next time at the range.